Hi there, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about something a little bit different. It's still journaling related, but rather than talking about how to journal and journaling inspiration and tips and supplies and all things like that, I wanted to have a chat with you today about the benefits of journaling and how journaling can be absolutely amazing for our mental health. So I really hope you find this useful and helpful. And if you don't journal already, I hope maybe it inspires you to give it a try. And if you do journal already, you may actually find some different ways of journaling that help you in different ways. Now, the first thing to remember is what works for one won't work for another. We're all different, we're all built differently. So if you find that you have a friend that journals every single day and it works wonders for them, it may not work the same for you, and you could actually find it has the opposite effect. For example, I know of people that do a small amount of journaling every day and they find it almost like meditation. For me, when I've tried that, it just adds extra stress. I can't keep up with it. I feel overwhelmed, and then I feel like I need to catch up with it, and it just stresses me out so much. So for me, I've tried it. I know it has the opposite effect. So it's maybe trying different things, looking at different ways and finding out what it is that will help you the most. So I'm going to talk about some different ways today and maybe see if you can find one way that really suits you, or you may actually have a way that you find works amazing for you. And if so, please leave a comment. Let us know what works for you, because it could actually be that it's one that I haven't actually spoken about, but maybe somebody else will read and will give it a go too, and it will work amazing for them as well. I think the major thing to think about here is that every time you sit down with your journal or your scrapbook or whatever it is, it could be a different craft, you're taking that time out for you. And I think that's what the most important thing is. You're taking the time out of your busy schedule and you're making that time for you. So it doesn't even have to be journaling. It could be card making, it could be needlework, it could be knitting. You're sitting down and you're relaxing and you're taking that important time for you. We all lead really busy lives, and it's so important to remember to stop and escape away from the everyday race. And every time you sit down with your journal, that's exactly what you're doing. It could be you want to write a few lines every day, what you're doing, or if like me and you want to do memory keeping, every time you're doing something and you're getting creative, you're slowing down, you're escaping into your little creative bubble, and you're making that time for you, which is really, really healthy and really important. Some people like to treat it as meditation, almost like what I've mentioned already. And it could be that you have your time to journal at the start of each day. It could be that you just want to reflect upon the day before or the day ahead of you. You want to focus on some good things, and think of it in the same way as like people that do meditation, do yoga, that read. It's the same kind of thing. You're just stopping and relaxing, slowing down and taking that time out for you. So journaling does fall into that same kind of category. And as with most people that do yoga and do exercise and meditation, they schedule that time in. It's part of their daily routine. So it could be you get up a little bit early in the morning to do it. It could be you set that time aside before you go to bed. Like people that read, for example, they do that in the evening. If you have a yoga class or you do an exercise class, you don't just suddenly think, right, I'm going to go and do a body pump class. Does body pump even exist? Am I showing my age? You would have that time scheduled into your planner because you would possibly book a class. The same can be said for creativity time. I like to actually schedule my time in for when I'm going to do my journaling, and I find it works much better for me. If I just think, right, I'm going to journal this week, chances are I won't find that time. I have to actually build that into my weekly schedule, and then I almost give myself permission to have that time, and I find it works so much better for me to do that. So maybe if you're struggling with time, pop it into your planner. Make that time, even if it's 20 minutes or half an hour. Allow yourself to have that time and give yourself that time to be creative. Now, when it comes to journaling, like I said, there's different ways. Some people like to vent. If you've got something going on in your head, something's bugging you, or you've got something heavy hanging over you, some people just want to write and get it all down. I have tried this. I was discussing it with a journaling group once, and they were doing rant pages and just writing everything down on a page that really irritated them. I tried to do that, and again it had the opposite effect of me. So many people in that group said it did them the world of good. They got it all off their chest. It was like a load had been lifted off their shoulders. For me, actually, it made me feel quite anxious, and writing all these things down that irritated me, and I had to really think, right, what bugs me? And it actually brought all these feelings to the surface that I didn't like, and I found that that actually wasn't for me. But some people I know, and the majority of people in that group, it really worked for them. So you could give that a go. Think of the things that really bug you. For example, I wrote down people with no manners, time wasters, angry drivers that drive too fast and are impatient, things like that. And I didn't like it, if I'm totally honest. I tend to focus more on positivity, but I will come to that in a second. I wanted to also carry on and talk about getting things off your chest. And I know another good thing, if something has upset you, is to write it down in a letter. You don't have to send the letter, but to write it down and even seal it in an envelope, pop it in a drawer somewhere safe, and that again can just alleviate that stress that you're carrying. Do some hidden journaling. If you're actually writing something that feels quite personal, but it's something that you want to get off your chest, or just a feeling that you're having, pop it in an envelope and hide it in your journal. I personally like creative journaling. I have a lot of pockets, and you can just pop little cards, little letters, and pop them inside. And again, it works in the same way. You've got the feelings there, you've got your thoughts there, but they're hidden away so you don't have to view them, and they're private from other people. Like I said, I really like to focus on the good. I find for me that really helps my headspace. I don't like focusing on anything negative. I've always stayed away from focusing on negativity. I haven't, for example, journaled about my divorce. I haven't journaled about people that have passed that I've really loved. I find it really upsetting, but instead I focus now, since my divorce, how happy I am. And I've even gone back and journaled other things that happened in my marriage before that I was really happy about. When people have passed, I've more done like a celebration page about the person. So for me, I find that works really well. And even now, I tend not to journal anything negative. I'm all about the positive, things that make me happy, things that inspire me, positive goals, and just day-to-day small things that really make me happy. And I just find it keeps my spirits high. It boosts me, and I have a feel-good feeling when I'm journaling that as well. It just lifts me, and it's what makes me feel happy. So that's what I know works for me, and that's what I really focus on doing when I journal. It could be that you find art journaling works really well for you, and just taking that time out, you don't even have to write, and you could just be getting creative with your paints, with your stencils, whatever medium makes you happy. Just switching off, getting messy fingers, and just having so much fun, forgetting about everything else, and just focusing on the book, the journal, the art in front of you, and letting go. And that could be the one thing that really helps you to come away feeling de-stressed when you've had that creative session. I think the other thing to do as well with many of us, I am guilty of doing this. I will need my craft fix and I will rush it. I will think, right, I've got 10 minutes, I've got 15 minutes, 20 minutes. What can I do in that time? And I will try and finish my page. And although that feels really good, and I have that feeling of satisfaction after I've completed a page, I haven't calmed down. It's been a rush. I'm checking the time, and I do sometimes even do time challenges where I set myself a 15-minute challenge to get a page done, and that's really fun, but I don't relax. So sometimes I don't even create. I might just go through my stash, tidy up my stickers, tidy through die cuts, and that in itself can be really relaxing. But just having some music on or a YouTube video and just slowing down and taking that time and just switching off. Or sometimes it is good to think about things and just think about conversations, but take that time out, and again, it's just focusing on what you're doing and taking it slowly and enjoying that time. So when you're journaling, try and enjoy the moment, try and enjoy the time. Don't stress over the little things, which is something I always say. Don't stress always over your supplies or where you're going to put your photo or where your journaling's going. Enjoy the moment. Things like that aren't that important. And your page will look amazing anyway afterwards. And worst comes to worst, you can jiggle things afterwards. But try and stay in the moment and enjoy the time that you're taking for yourself. One of my most favourite projects, which I think did wonders for me, was working on my smile journal. If you know my channel already, you will have seen this coming together over the last year. I have loved this project so much. I worked on it from January, I think, until August, September time. I think I finished it in September. And it was amazing, and I really did focus on the good things that made me smile, funny conversations. I just had so much fun taking photos during family WhatsApp video calls. I looked back on happy memories. I just did so many things in here, focused on people that made me happy, things that have made me laugh. I love this journal so much, and not only did it give me that feel-good feeling when I was creating it, but it's really, really lovely to look back on. Just all these happy memories, the things that have made me laugh, and it makes me smile every time I look through it. So maybe give a smile journal a go and focus on the things that make you smile and make you laugh. Another project that always lifts my spirits. Anyone else get the holiday blues when they come back off trips? It's a thing. Holiday blues, Disney blues, it really exists. You come back, you had this massive build up. Also, actually thinking about it for weddings or any big celebrations, you have that massive big build up where you're spending so long planning for something, and then it finally comes around, you have the most amazing time, and then the blues hits you when you get home. When life resumes back to normal, you can feel really, really low. So for me, the memory keeping side of it, the going back over, the making a journal, going through your photos, printing them off, documenting all your little stories, it's amazing. It really, really lifts my spirits. Even editing our holiday YouTube videos when we've been to Disney or any other trips, and I go back and I start editing them, you get all the lovely feelings back from your trip. It doesn't give you the blues, it just makes you so happy, makes you appreciate that time you've had. And I always say those that document their trips have double the amount of fun, because you get to relive your trips all over again. So I really recommend doing that. One last thing to share with you, I really recommend, if you've got children, if you've got grandchildren, godchildren, nieces, nephews, encourage them to start journaling from a young age. I think it's such a good habit to get into. Really reflect upon what you're doing, appreciate things that you're doing, appreciate those around you. And even if like they've been on school trips, if they've had events at school, if they've had a friend over for the day, get them to document their day afterwards, write down what the good things were, and it's a good way to look back on life. It's a good way to learn from things that we've done as well, and they will be so happy when they're older that one, they've got into journaling, and two, that they're able to look back on their journals and see what they got up to, see their thoughts, their dreams. I really, really encourage you to do that with your little ones. I hope you've enjoyed this video today. I hope it's been helpful. I hope it's inspired you to start journaling if you haven't already. And remember, one size doesn't fit all. If you try a way and you don't get that feel-good feeling, it maybe not be for you. And there could be another type of journaling that you try that really, really lifts your spirits and makes you feel good. I know, like for me, certain ways just don't work. So maybe try another way and see if it helps you feel better. But thank you for watching. Let me know if this has inspired you in any way. I would love to know. And let me know your favourite way of journaling and the feel-good factor that you get from it too. I'd love to hear. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care. Bye.